box in the ashram, and Ananga Manjari said she remembers I was waving a carrot in front of them and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "They're hungry." I don't remember that, but everyone said, you can't have your own deities. What are you doing? And I was always too afraid to talk to Prabhupada, but we could go see him in a darshan, and I got the courage up to go. And I brought them. They had their little box. And I went up, and there was no one else in the room. And I was really scared to talk to Prabhupada, but I had to ask him. So I opened the box and said, "Srila Prabhupada, I have Lord Jagannath. I want them to see you." And I stood them up. And he was smiling. He said, "They are gorgeous." He said, "So your husband's taken sannyas?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "Then you just make Lord Jagannath your husband, Subhadra your daughter, and Lord Jagannath and Balaram your son." He said it 2 times. He said, "Every woman needs husband, son, and daughter, and you will be happy your whole life." He gave me other instructions also, but so after that, no one questioned or said, "What are you doing with deities?" I went to India. They were on altars all over the world, and they're very merciful. I still have them, and they're the most merciful deities because they're still with me in spite of my unqualification. So, thank you.
Were you a student at Ohio University in Athens? Yeah, when Srila Prabhupada went, Pradyumna Prabhu told me that whole story just about a couple months ago about how Prabhupada went for 1 day to Athens, Ohio University, and 4 devotees, full-time historical devotees that are still serving today, all came from that one little trip. He just went there, drove, and came back. Taruni Devi, Yadunandan Prabhu, Sanat Kumar Prabhu, and Chintamani Devi.
I came from Columbus.
Oh, you came from Columbus?
I met Puja when he came. He visited Athens, and I'd been vegetarian for a year, and I was doing yoga. I was studying with Dr. Mishra. I had went to New York and stayed with one of his chief disciples. I was ready to go to become a Dr. Mishra disciple. And Puja came, and I went, and there wasn't any vegetarian food at that time in the university, and he cooked this whole feast. And I was looking at everything, like, what is that, what is that? And he was trying to sell me the Bhagavad Gita. I said, "I've got the Bhagavad Gita." It wasn't Prabhupada's, but what is this? Halava, what is this? And so then the next quarter I went back and lived with my parents, and Puja had just gotten that house and opened the preaching center. So I started going, and then Prabhupada came. I wrote a letter to Prabhupada in April asking questions about Jesus Christ because I had been a Christian. And the next month I was initiated. Yeah. I would never be able to initiate nowadays because you have to know all these courses. Really, that's it. I mean, Prabhupada's
Prabhupada saw something so special. Kripa. And Sri Nandanandan Prabhu, actually in most exalted assemblies in India and worldwide, he's asked to be a keynote speaker. His scholarship, his devotion, his commitment, his enthusiasm, his books. Such a humble gentleman, friend, always. So honored you're here, Sri Nandanandan. And Nityotita Prabhu, we're like lifelong friends. We have crossed many oceans of inconceivable situations together. And your Nitya Prabhu, loyalty to Srila Prabhupada, dedication to his mission, and seeking the essence is just always such a great inspiration for all of us. Thank you. And Jagat Guru Prabhu, I'm sorry, your good wife's name? Sriranga Devi. Oh, Sri Radha Devi. I'm so honored and grateful you are both here with us today. Your dedication, your example, your wonderful children. When I think of Detroit, you are somehow or other, the remembrance of both of you spring from my heart and bring me great jubilation. Such a dedication. And I would like to speak about each and every one of you. I don't think you want me to do that. I spoke briefly about Kamagiri Devi yesterday. She's really like a mother of the universe for me. When I first started going to Cleveland, I don't remember the year exactly, but when they installed the little Radha Muralidhars, I was a pujari at New Vrindavan, so I was asked to actually go to Cleveland and conduct the installation ceremony for those little deities. The large Radha Muralidhars were already there. And then later when I started traveling, and I would meet Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj there. That was the most wonderful. And that temple was hard. I mean, yes, if you locked your van, they definitely broke. Definitely broke. It wasn't maybe. Anything that was in it that was movable was gone. And there were gunshots going off and sirens, and it was quite a auspicious place to preach. And Kamagiri Devi, she would always be I just remember in the back of the temple, sitting alone, making garlands with little babies all over the place. And as I was coming, it seemed like every year there was another baby. And she did the cooking, and she was just like no desire for prestige, recognition, just total eagerness to be the servant of the servant of the servant. And you're such an example of everything Srila Prabhupada really wanted our devotees to aspire for.
Maharaj, if not for your example and encouragement, we could not have made it.
Can you just pass it? Whatever she's about to say is simply a personification of what I was just talking about.
No, actually, I have to tell the truth. But by your example and just coming, and encouraging us, even in the midst of so many obstacles and mountains to climb and bridges to go under, and sometimes floods, and so many things that we have to, we have to go through things in life. But when you have someone who really cares about your well-being and spiritual life, you don't mind going through it, just like a mother who takes care of her child. Whatever she needs to do because of love and sharing love with her child, she's willing to do that out of love. And so you gave us that. And I am eternally indebted to you. And it's a debt that I could never repay, but I will always strive to do that. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for everything that you have done for us, all of us. Happy birthday. So everybody's sending me messages, because it's online.
It
You're
is.
saying, tell Maharaj, happy birthday, happy appearance day. Mother Isopanishad, Mother Padma, Mother Jambavati, my oldest daughter Devaki, everybody's sending birthday wishes to you. So, and Mother Padma told me to give you one of those devotee hugs.
Just so that you all understand. Because it's online. Well, what can I say about the assembly of devotees here? Who could ever comprehend what to speak of all the ways Malati Devi proved served Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada said to his God brothers. And this is, when Srila Prabhupada was with his God brothers, this was a very exalted sangam of interaction. He told his God brothers that Malati was ready to cut her throat for Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, and I'm willing to do the same thing for her. That's about the most graphic description of surrender you've ever had. We are so fortunate we're all together today. I thank you all very much. Thank you for coming, for taking the time, the trouble to come all the way here to the Himalayas. I guess you did this because I used to live in the Himalayas. It was nothing like this. The only people, the only companions were snakes and leopards, and monkeys and mosquitoes, and here we have an assembly of great Vaishnavas. And it's so warm. When it was announced that it was the Himalayas, Srimad and Prabhu and I were discussing, it looks more like a Christmas exhibition. More like Christmas than Himalayas. Then we decided that even in the Himalayas there's a Christmas. But actually I would like to conclude by What was it you said, Srinandananda Prabhu, about zooming out of the material world or something?
Yeah, I was saying that no matter what we're doing, whether we're sitting here listening to the katha, or reading the books, doing service, chanting japa, whatever it is, at every moment, with every breath we breathe, we should feel ourselves zooming right out of this material world and back into the spiritual atmosphere.
Well, after hearing that, I have a whole new perspective of Zoom.
Yeah, not as much as what most people think of today.
But it was on Zoom that I was with all of you, and Nayana Sundari Devi was in the hospital. By Krishna's grace, I was allowed to join all of you by Zoom. And Nayana Sundari Devi was such a great devotee, so sincere, so earnest, so honest, so grateful, so gracious, going through the most painful, difficult predicaments, never complaining, just trying to be the best she could be for Krishna, for the Vaishnavas. And whenever I would speak to her, she would just be so grateful. How to be grateful in such an endangered, painful condition. And as a mother with children, when you're in that predicament. And her beloved husband just willing to go anything year after year after year to be there for his good wife. And Kishore Prabhu, when he informed people that she was leaving us, through Zoom I got to go into the hospital room. And besides Bhaktivedanta Hospital, it's hard to find hospital rooms filled with devotees chanting and kirtan. But the room was full of devotees who were with such emotion and such compassion and such respect for her, helping her through the holy names and the unity of their purpose to be with Krishna at this momentous moment where the soul departs from the body. It was so beautiful to see her husband, her children, and the whole community there for her. Kishore Prabhu was there, and they were holding photographs of deities. And it was such an honor to see her zoom right out of this material world. But just before she departed, she opened her eyes, and what did she do? Just moments before she departed from the world, she put her hands and did her pranams to all the devotees. She did her pranams to the photos of the deities. She did her pranams to her guru, and she did her pranams to all the devotees. She was doing pranams to the holy names in Sankirtan. That's not something in that state of consciousness, in that condition of life. It's not something you can just artificially do. You have to be empowered by Krishna to do that. That's just who she was from the core of her heart. Couldn't say anything. Just going like this to her. Then she was gone. It was at that moment that I decided, in her honor, I will come to Farmington Hills on December 7th. Not that this is a special day, it's Pearl Harbor Day, it's kind of a strange day, but because I felt it would please her. And I know that what pleases her is what will please all of you, so I'm here to serve you. And prayers for good husband, Rasika and Mukunda, whole family. Thank you. Would you like to say a few words? Yes.
We are using this opportunity to actually glorify the parampara. Mataji.
When we are utilizing this opportunity to glorify the parampara and also to glorify you, we just want to share that how rare this opportunity is to be connected to the parampara. While Nayan Sundari was going through all these difficulties, we were just trying to figure out whatever is possible to get her recovered. We realized medically it is impossible to actually get her out of that situation. So we were just trying different therapy which can actually do a remote healing for her. And there were hundreds of people who were actually doing healing for her. Some of them were devotee and some of them by your grace will become devotee. One thing which every person said, this is one wonderful soul, wonderful devotee in Vrindavan. She has been healing her. And this journey did not start just when we all were on Zoom. The journey started much ahead in the game. This was around March 2022. I was actually in the ICU floor, seeing all the doctors completely confused that what is going on and how do we resolve that situation. And this Mataji is trying to heal Nayan Sundari. The first line she says, whenever I try to heal her, I see her Guru around. This another person who is actually not a devotee, but she's a very powerful healer. And under her guidance, there is one student, and she is actually a devotee. Before Nayan Sundari, actually, before all of us went on Zoom, which is around 3 o'clock, and all these messages are coming at 1 p.m., her Guru is there to take her. And after the departure, the same person is telling, she came back and told me she is very happy. She was welcomed her spiritual home. Maharaj, we see you as a person, but you are here and you are that missing link for all of us. Connection to Guru Parampara What it needs is a sincerity. We may not be great preacher, we may not be great. What different people have different capacity, but what you offered is unlimited hope. No one can describe what actually you did for her. It is completely impossible for a person to actually achieve that goal and that situation like Maharaj was speaking about. And when I was hearing medically, her carbon dioxide in the body at such a high level, it is impossible for her to be awake even without sedation. It is impossible for her brain to work to actually offer pranam and think about that I am in front of my spiritual master. And I want to share one thing. Every time when you called to pray for her, to actually give her a conviction that she is going back to the spiritual world, she was sedated and she missed the communication. But this time, when she opened her eyes, everybody was thinking that we will keep Radha Gopijana Vallabha's picture and Nitai Pakita Pavana Gaurari's picture, but she was looking for you. And the first thing, and this is because she wasn't talking, her vocal cord was disconnected, so she couldn't speak, so she was always communicating with me with the hand gesture. At that moment, the only thing which I realized is, she was looking for you. And then the first thing her eyes told, Gurudev, you are here. I've been waiting for you. Thank you.
Again, thanks Sundari Mataji ki jai. His Holiness Radhanathswami Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada's divine grace is beyond all of us. We can't understand it. We all just, according to our little capacity, we try to share that divine grace of Srila Prabhupada with each other. And that's not only our hope, but it's our certainty to reach Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you for your offering. Hare Krishna. Would you like to say something?
Just eternally grateful, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
You're just like your mother and father. In the last couple hours, I was trying to say what you just said. Thank you. Please know that you have a community that really wants to be your friend. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. It's almost December 8th now, so we
we're going to be doing a cake cutting ceremony right now. Can Anand Kishori Mataji, Shyamala Radha Mataji, and Mahadasa Mataji please come to the front? And while the cake is arriving, can you please describe the cake for all of us? Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada said, sadhu means to cut.
I request all the devotees to please take prasad before leaving. Wait a few minutes and we'll serve prasad. So cake is coming, and as soon as cake is cut, we'll serve prasad. But once again, thank you very much for coming. Very grateful.
Are we having kirtan?
Turn to Maharaj. Huh? Like this? How? You want to keep it like this? Hi. You can't see her.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Saraswati Deve Gaurani Prachane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Bhastajati Sathane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurani Prachane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vyasa Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Thank you.
Big cake.
Can you hold this, please?
I'm going to explain the cake. If you want you to explain it.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. I would like to begin, please accept our humble obeisances. I'd like to begin by reading an excerpt from your book, The Journey Home. As I sat on that rock, I imagined that watching the flow of the river was like watching the passing of life. If one is inside the river, one is greatly affected by it. But if one sits on that bank, one can observe it with detachment. Mother Ganges teaches that if we learn to be detached from our ego and the flurry of the mind, senses, and the world around us, and observe life with a sober disposition. This excerpt is very close to the heart of many present here. This wonderful lesson has helped us to recognize, pay attention to, and identify the false ego in our hearts, which is our greatest enemy. Further, in your book, you shared how Mother Ganges revealed you the Maha Mantra. cake is our humble offering, Maharaj. It represents the Himalayan mountains and your divine self meditating amidst Mother Ganges. We pray that the way Mother Ganges inspired you to the Maha Mantra and guided you towards Srila Prabhupada, similarly, may we all be guided by your instructions to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and Shri Shri Radha Gopijana Vallabha, by joyfully, lovingly coming together to serve as a family for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada's movement. This cake represents the emotions that devotees from ISKCON Farmington Hills wanted to express to you. Please forgive us for our shortcomings in this presentation. Your servants.
This verse is the favorite verse of Nights and Days.
Yes, and the verse that that's on the cake is also an offering to her dearest Nayan Sumari Mataji. It was her favorite verse. Thank you, Maharaj.
going to read that verse.
As Maharaj is cutting the cake, we'll chant the Maha Mantra.
Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Radhanathswami Maharaj ki. Thank you, Good Maharaj, for your presence on this very wonderful auspicious day.
Quite a mystical experience cutting water. Thank you for your purport to the cake.
Maharaj is telling this, the cake is very nice and show it to everyone. So I want everyone to see this and okay, turn it. Careful.
It's bleeding.
Thank you very much. Prasad is being served. So we will late, but please do take prasad before leaving.
Where's Maharaj's picture? It's there one.